and all, you know, it was a certain kind of role that we each played. But we are so, many of us are just so antithetic in real life to the characters that we played. And really, I think I'm just so lucky to work with such a talented bunch of actors.
Oh, stop it, Brian.
No, really. And also these guys, too.
The really talented actors are here.
You're right. Oh, yeah.
And they were able to get us.
Yeah.
I think in my case, I think everybody else turned it down, they just gave it to me. What are you laughing about? Why are they laughing?
No, it's cool.
They're laughing with you.
Oh, okay. Thank you, folks.
Yeah, and another thing that Bobby alluded to, but was really a major factor, was the script was not the greatest script. I mean, what it turned into is amazing, but when I saw it, it was like, okay.
A skeleton of.
Yeah. And it was a combination of things. It wasn't just doing the rewrites, which they were doing, extensive rewrites. But then in addition to that, it would be improvising on the set, which we did a fair amount of.
Yeah.
Well, also, you know, in the script it was written that Lewis had a honking laugh. And I kept trying to figure out what this laugh was. How am I going to do the laugh? It was a big deal in the script that we had this specific laugh. And it was the night before we were going to start principal photography, and I still hadn't come up with a laugh. And Jeff Canute, the wonderful director, said, Bobby, I want you to take a look at Jamie Cromwell's audition tape. So I look at his audition tape, and he's doing that laugh. And then I met Jamie, and I said, man, that laugh is really fucked up, man. You poor bastard. He said, well, that's not my laugh. I said, it's not? You invented that? He said, yeah, I invented that for the character. I said, oh, show me how to do it. Because, you know, like father, like son, right? And that was how the laugh came to be, was because Jamie Cromwell figured out how to do it. So when we turn and look at each other, we go, it's real.
That's one of my favorite moments in the movie.
Yeah.
With the two of you, because you look like two weird birds. I love that moment.
I just have to say, too, that because we had the luxury of being able to throw in stuff. One of the first scenes that I worked on was with Curtis Armstrong. You know, we were in this gym, and just he and I were sitting on a cot, we were playing cards and doing this and that. None of this stuff, a lot of the stuff that Booger and I and Takashi did was created with Curtis and I just futzing around.
Well, he threatened us, not you, but Jeff Canute. When we'd all run to it was even more arbitrary than that. Because you remember the scene in the movie where we all, you know, John Goodman makes us go run for our cots. And we just arbitrarily got cots. And I happened to be in the cot next to Brian. And so Jeff was going to shoot Bobby and Anthony in another part of the gym. And as he was leaving, he said, you guys come up with something, I'm coming back in a couple of minutes. So we're going, and so we started improvising the card playing, which worked really well for that scene, and then became a running gag for the rest of the movie. But every time it happens in the movie, it's all improvised on the spot.
I think I got a brush.
Oh, no, you got too many kinks. Let's see.
The problem, the thing about that is I'm such a bad card player that in fact that could very well be me actually saying that for the truth. I think it's possible you could have too many kings.
We'd like to go ahead and open up the floor to questions. If anybody has questions, they need to come up here and talk into the microphone. So, dun, 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 dun.
That many people!
Wow, you got a brave house.
If you don't ask questions, they're done. So you need to come up and ask questions.
Ogres, his hands now.
Don't wait for the end.
You got a live one back there.
Good question.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I might as well start this one off, and it's only half nerds related, and it's for Curtis. I mean, so what's any difference between working on a regular series like Moonlighting and working on a once or twice in a time movie like Revenge of the Nerds and its sequels? You know, what's more strenuous? Do you ever get tired of movie series or?
No, Moonlighting was more strenuous without even thinking about that answer. Yes, Moonlighting was, but Moonlighting isn't necessarily a normal environment. It was kind of a stressful, horrid environment. Whereas Revenge of the Nerds was a bonding, lovely environment with nice people.
Okay.
So there's no comparison. It's really apples and oranges.
I do want to add, though, speaking of moonlighting and Curtis Armstrong, I happened to be on the Fox lot one day,
Oh!
and there was
I
this
forgot about that.
huge parade in the middle of the studio, right? And in the center of this parade, in this open top car, was Curtis, all decked out like the king, and it was Curtis Armstrong Day. Bruce Willis wanted to put together, because it was such a horrid environment, Bruce Willis evidently thought to bring the spirits up of the workers and everybody else, they would have, and everybody loves Curtis Armstrong. I love him. Except for Owen. But I can't,
I didn't know I'm here.
And so they had Curtis Armstrong Day, and I got to be a part of it. And I even still have this mask with Curtis's face on it. Yeah.
Now, this all sounds lovely, but I'll tell you the truth. The truth of the matter is that this was all organized over a period of weeks by Bruce because he wanted the afternoon off. And he knew that once the parade started, because he was in the parade and Sylvan was in the parade, that there was no way they would get back everybody after lunch. So he arranged it mainly because he wanted to get off early. But it was still a nice
Curtis Armstrong Day.
It was a nice Curtis Armstrong Day.
I tell you something that's interesting, that when they come over, I'll talk till he gets there. He's there. He's quiet.
I actually kind of have a pair of questions. The first one is, when they shot the Planet of the Apes movie, they talked about how the gorillas hung out with the gorillas and the chimps hung out with the chimps. Was there like a distinct thing where the jocks hung out and the nerds hung out, or was there kind of a mix? And then I also wonder, and then
Don needs to answer this.
in a completely unrelated question, then I also wonder, was there any fallout from after you're done doing nerds? When you're trying to go on and not be Skolnick, not be Booger, is there
Were there any typecasting problems?
I mean, there were so many eyes on it. Like, how did that go? So I have two totally different questions, and I'll go sit down and listen.
Fantastic.
So Don, was there cross-pollination between nerds and jocks?
I can't really remember, actually. I got really drunk all the time. There was in the beginning, I think, right? Because you guys were already down there, and then we got there, and McGinley and me.
There was segregation.
Yeah, and then,
There was
and then I
segregation.
think towards the middle, and then we started to hang out more. I started hanging out more with you guys.
Yeah.
Because
we had better-
boy, on
we
my
had better
part, that I could be in the second one, become a nerd. I fooled them. So I started hanging out with them. But yeah, I think that after a while, we started hanging out together. Like, we went to that dinner and stuff. But in the beginning, it was like real weird.
Yeah, Ted
Yeah.
has even said to me in later years, he said, in the beginning, I didn't feel like accepted by you guys.
Yeah, it was weird. We kind of felt like, we don't really belong. So,
Yeah.
Well, it was
You
really
were the
cool,
nerds.
though.
huh?
You were the nerds. You were the outsiders.
We kind of were.
Yeah.
We were all reversed then.
Yeah.
Well, we shot at the University of Arizona, and part of all the cast was actual students that went to the school. Matter of fact, they gave out like 32 SAG cards or something for just people who never wanted to be actors, but they happened to be there, and they just let them work. But we were so lucky because we got to hang out with the actual students of the school, and there was always parties. It was always all the stories. All the
We don't need to get into that.
yeah, that's true. But we really, and so during those times, everybody was a part of it. Whether they were the nerds,
I have a different remembrance. See, I was in character as Lewis was, so I was gay in the 80s, and that hadn't yet gained acceptance. So all these parties that they're talking about,
Oh, please, he's lying.
no. They accepted me.
He will not fight it.
I was going, I had purple boots.
I know for a different reason.
yeah.
Tight, I think it was Sergio Valente. Were they the
We can absolutely assure you you that Larry made sure that everybody knew he was only acting.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then as for the typecasting question, the truth of the matter is, if you're lucky enough to get into a hit movie, all is forgiven. And you get to be in 2 or 3 more movies just because they want the name value of somebody who was in a movie that was a hit. So once those 3 movies tank, then you're in trouble.
Hello.
Oh, wait, we got one. A live one.
All right.
Hi, guys. What's your name? Eric.
Eric.
Hi. I guess it's sort of related to the typecasting question. When someone walks up to you on the street and they recognize you, do they recognize you as being one of the nerds, or do they recognize you for something else?
Well, I hate to say it, but I get the nerd the most. And I could have a full beard, a hat, sunglasses. I mean, my wife and I have been skiing, and we're in a lift line, and people are calling me a nerd. And, you know, my hair's down to here. I look like Ogre, and they're calling me Lewis, and she's like, "Are you calling my husband a nerd?" And they get all embarrassed, and then we get about halfway up the lift line, and I do the laugh. And they go, "Oh, I knew it! I knew it!"
I definitely get that. And it's, it's really hard.
But it's okay, because when we shoot Nerds 5, the final chapter, you know, all those people will come to the movie.
Anything you're supposed to know.
Oh, if.
Yeah, I get Lamar Latrell, I get clap your hands, everybody. But back in the 80s, before it was cool, from the buzz I got, that's him. But it obviously gained acceptance, and he, to his credit, he did tell a bit of the truth. I'm not gay, in case you haven't noticed. But I have no problems with people being gay. I'm not anti-gay. I'm actually
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
I was telling the previous crowd, I'm not anti-gay. I'm anti somebody trying to stick something in my butt.